I think 99% of the world's problems would be solved if females walked through life with their body count on their forehead.
Hey, I noticed that you are an online fitness coach. I also have a passion in fitness and training. I am expert copywriter and ghostwriter, and I offer to make you
Free gift.
5 pieces of gift that I have written. Would you like me to send them over free of charge?
Sometimes I've taken a look at propanefitness.com and love the articles on change the font, change the font size, font style, alignment in the post. Generic name of article that we wrote 10 years ago. Would you like me to send you a free way to boost your sales for that? Like, leave us alone, please.
How many would you say we get every day?
Between 3 and 10.
Yeah. Plus Twitter. So if you've managed to somehow avoid receiving these and you're listening thinking, what are these guys talking about? Basically, and we'll explain how this has come about, but a lot of us are receiving a barrage of emails saying, hey, I've written a promotional sequence of emails for you. Would you like me to send it across? Or I've written some tweets that will boost your engagement or whatever. And what it's all come from is a guy called Andrew Tate, who is a kickboxer kind of influencer guy, basically set up a harem of cam girls and some kind of cam girl platform and has just become very wealthy off the back of it. And he's now running something called Hustlers University, which is a $50 a month program that tells people to cold message anyone who's like, obviously there's like some kind of data scraping thing from websites, to just email people and say that you're a master copywriter and to do this kind of sales approach. We've occasionally said yes, just out of curiosity. And I have one here. I'm not going to show the names because I feel like, bless him, he's just a victim of the system.
Well,
But
I don't know about that.
it's just the hubris. So here's one of the messages that we got. Hey, I really enjoy your content. I run a service where I run tweets for people. I promise you this will engage new customers. Now, just have a look through these. If you're listening, we can read out a few. Only real ones are working out 7 days a week. Wow, I really disliked that workout, said no one ever. Nothing is impossible. You will forever chase a pump to look as big as you did with a pump. They tell you the sky's the limit, yet man's footprint is on the moon.
Keep yourself busy.
Champions
Keep
don't
yourself
become the
busy.
best.
Time doesn't stop for anyone. I don't even know what that's advice. Like, don't rest because time's running out. So be busy.
Get some rest this weekend because this week is going to be a grueling fight. Healthy mind, healthy body. It's got that one the wrong way round. So,
Well, they're guaranteed.
like,
They're
if we
guaranteed to
started
engage.
tweeting-
Have we ever tweeted one? Maybe we should.
No. So yeah, we're missing out on the guarantee. I think if we tweeted one, people would be like, Yusuf, have you had a brain injury?
So I think
Like,
it would
are you
do well
okay?
because people assume it would be irony. Pretty much all of them.
So it would do well for the wrong reasons.
But unless like the person who's outreached it has really picked up the nuance of your content on Twitter and thought like this guy's a bit dry British humor, you know, actually if no one will think he ever means any of this seriously. Let's do that.
I see. So what I think actually someone astutely pointed out that what those tweets probably are is using a tool like Tweet Hunter, which generates AI-based tweets. It's not a tool that we recommend because I just think like people are following you to listen to what you say, not what AI says. and it comes out with some really wacky stuff. So somebody who is on the Propane Business Program actually tested out Tweet Hunter, not due to our advice, but he sent me a few screenshots of some of the stuff that it generates. So to lose body fat, you must A, eat anything, B, have any amount. You can see where it's kind of tried to farm the data from and just produce
it's kind of not
nonsensical
wrong
stuff.
in some ways. Like there's bits of it, like there's ways you can interpret the advice to say, well, yeah, like it's better than what Dave Asprey is saying, at least.
There was some really... Oh, here we go. Here's the gold mine. Strong life, long masculinities are built inside gyms. Your lifting weights and eating protein are good for you. Great masculine relationships start from the gym. You don't have anything to hide there. Like, it's all the buzzwords of Twitter gurus just placed
In like a
random
framework, like a repeatable framework. We use one of those, what's it called? Jarvis. It's like a AI copywriting tool that you put in some information about your business and it'll spit out a few, like using a few famous copywriting frameworks, some headlines and some ads, and it does a pretty good job, but it still doesn't read like a human's written it, and it's got a similar flavor to all of those tweets. Someone who either like their first language isn't English and they've learned English and they're pretty good at it, but they're missing some of the nuance of the slang or the way things are phrased, or it's just AI.
And it's kind of made up for it stylistically by trying to compensate with this staccato profundity.
I think the problem with all of this is that, and we've seen like variations of this for a while. There's obviously the big uptick recently with Andrew Tate's advice, is that digital marketing services and copywriting, of all the things, if someone's like, I want to start a business on the internet, what do I do? Both of those things you can kind of learn like relatively quickly. And so if you've got no skills at all, let's say you work in a 9-to-5 job and you don't have any business ideas at the moment, and someone says, well, you can just make money on the internet. The two quickest things to gain like some semblance of skill in are copywriting and digital marketing. And so we see these sort of cold outreach messages tend to be offering some kind of like, I've written 5 bits of ad copy for you, I've written an email sequence for you. And the response I always want to give is like, if this was converting as well as you say, why are you sending me a cold email? Like, where's the disconnect there? Like, why is that the way that you're growing your business if your email sequence or your ads convert so profitably?
It's a very low barrier to entry, and so anyone can call themselves that. And it's I think what this guy's teaching is just hubris, because I think I had someone outreach me, and his actual outreach message was like moderate. It wasn't great, but then he was like, "Oh, are you free for a quick Zoom chat? I'm on now." And I was like, "Okay, fine." Spoke to him, and he was like, "I was like, okay, so have you got any examples of work you've done before or anything?" And he was like, "Well, actually, no, because you'd be my first customer." I'm like, "Right, okay. What's your rate?" And he's like, "Oh, it's £5,000 a month."
Wow.
Like that's not how you start as a copywriter. You don't just throw out a number with zero proof of concept. And like, so you're saying you'd be able to generate an ROI of £5,000 a month.
That's also got to be up there with like the best agencies in the world as a monthly retainer.
And it's some guy with 4 followers who's put ghostwriter, expert copywriter in his bio.
It's just like he's got someone to the point of maybe buying. If he lands it, like, wow. Like if he converts 1, then he's made $5,000. Probably get a refund request in 48 hours, but he's still made temporarily for a period of time. He's made $5,000.
His bank balance has gone up a bit in that time. So the reason we're getting so many of these is because of Tate's viral strategy. It's very clever. So $50 a month, and then within the program, he gets people to promote Hustlers University for a 50% commission. So anyone who members refer get 50% commission in recurring, in perpetuity. And the method he recommends is to set up lots of TikTok profiles and Instagram profiles and everything called Tate Says or Tate Speech or whatever. And to take clips of his podcasts where he just says as controversial things as he can muster into 30-second clips, subtitle them, put a link to Hustlers University. And so that's how, like, he's made himself uncancelable, because he's like one of those, he's like whack-a-mole, that every time he gets banned off something, loads of other ones pop up.
So the stuff that the content that people are sharing and chopping up, like, it's not business content, because I've not seen any. I just see the sort of the consequences. I haven't seen his actual promotions. So it's not like generic make money online type content that then links to sign up for my Hustlers Universities. It's just like, how do I grab attention by saying anything I possibly can? By the way,
yeah, it's usually just like sort of entry level misogyny,
right,
that he says. So I've got a couple of, I mean, I haven't seen these videos, so I don't know what's going to come up.
Could
but
be anything, couldn't it?
Here's a random sample.
I'm now the most famous man on the planet.
A body count is probably the #1 most easiest way to judge the value of a female. I actually think that no, I'm going to say this. I think 99% of the world's problems, and no one's going to understand this, but if you can extrapolate, if you can listen to this statement and extrapolate it out towards society at large, I think 99% of the world's problems would be solved if females walked through life with their body count on their forehead.
To summarize, he's a guy who made his money doing things that, are they illegal? Maybe. Probably somewhere they're illegal. They're certainly very immoral.
I'm not sure, because like running a camgirl agency, it's online pimping, isn't it? But camgirling, as far as I know, is
Is it
legal.
okay?
Probably except in like Arab countries.
I see your point. It just
Although
kind
incidentally,
of feels wrong that it's okay. Like, I suppose, yeah. Go on, incidentally.
Incidentally, he's very pro-Islam, because of the fact that you can have 4 wives and that women are kept in the kitchen and wearing a thing and all. I mean, to be honest, they're not really in Islam. Like modern Islam, it isn't. But there's always this kind of idealized thing that if you can say something controversial like, "Oh, I'm pro-Islam," oh, but it's because boom, 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 then you get the viral growth.
So he's made, I suppose, I mean, it makes sense for him to be like anti-monogamy when he's made his money like in the porn industry, I assume. It's like they don't, those two don't really like complement each other that well. But he's made his money doing something that is now completely separate to what he's ended up teaching, which is like promote my own stuff, either almost like a pyramid scheme. So sign up to my thing to make money selling my thing, and the whole thing is just learning to sell the thing that you bought over and over again. Which, is that a pyramid scheme?
So I think it would be a pyramid scheme if that was the only route,
but there's other things he
but
teaches
because
in
he's freelancing, copywriting, etc.
none of which he's ever done himself.
Well, oh yeah, good point.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he has, but it doesn't. From your like curtailed bio, it doesn't sound like he does. Have any?
Well, the tweet thing is kind of arbitrage, isn't it? Because you're taking AI generated stuff, so you're not even writing the tweets yourself, and you're selling them on to a larger account. I
think I saw your tweet saying like, unless you've been doing this for 10 years, you're not going to boost our open rates or something. Which I think it's more just like it's that thing, isn't it? Of like, if the person is so skilled at what they claim to be skilled at, then why are they hounding me over email to send me something for free? Like, put your money where your mouth is.
should clarify as well. There's nothing wrong with copywriters as a skill. It's a very valuable skill, and the reason that good copywriters can charge 10, 15k for a landing page is because they can They can generate that off the power of the landing page. The problem that we have specifically is people just getting too big for their boots.
Yeah. So, well, and like, I think there's this assumption that like, oh, I've got no real experience, but I can charge all this money, or I can sort of provide this skill and charge for it. And the way to do that is to relentlessly email somebody until they reply. It's annoying. I feel annoyed about it. It makes me feel upset and annoyed.
It's the fitness industry isn't free of this stuff as well. You know, a lot of the high ticket stuff is getting someone who's fresh out of PT qualification to try and charge a obscene amount for fat loss coaching. It sets up the wrong expectations. It's not, you know, we've talked about the fact that it doesn't generate a sustainable business model. It generates a lot of regret purchases, refund requests, low lifetime value, all this kind of stuff. And no one wants to do the boring, hard thing of just building up a critical mass of mid and lower ticket clients where you can then rely on your income in a year's time, in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, and quit your job without worrying about boom and bust.
Or if it was like mandatory to measure businesses based on their 10-year income. It's like their 10-year profit figure rather than their like monthly top line revenue figure. I think you'd see very few high ticket personal training businesses on the leaderboard for the 10-year. Like you would see Kino Body, you would see V-Shred, you would see Athlete X. But funnily enough, I don't know whether anyone's noticed, like those guys aren't doing high ticket, and yet they are like multi-million dollar turnover, $1 million profit businesses, because they've just figured out that like people don't want to get on the phone to buy personal training or buy a fitness program, and they're making it work quite some scale, especially V-Shred.
There's a man at the door.
Is the man gone?
All of DPD, all of DHL, every man who owns an angle grinder knows the propane recording schedule for the podcasts.
I think it's less. I think it's there's more pattern to it than we really consider, because we always record like early-ish afternoon, and I bet you that's just where we both sit on like delivery. If we were to map out sort of where we live versus the DPD depot, I bet on average they land at our houses at about 2 to 4 p.m. on a weekday. Yeah. He's just being malicious.
It's part of his rhythm, isn't it?
But that can't be an...
Well, the listeners will never know because we very artfully edited out.
Whereas I can just hear all the time, and I just have to tolerate it.
Yeah.